Now that is Yuki Tsunoda, and that is a particularly hefty whack for the young Japanese driver, and that has brought out the red flag, unsurprisingly, at Variante Alta.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Let's have a look then.
It was, it got a bit of a swapper on in the middle. As he corrected it, it bit, and around it went.
Gearbox at the very least.
Yeah.
And when he gets to the line, it's fifth fastest for Esteban Ocon. Good improvement for him. He'll be safely through to the second part of qualifying. Latifi gets himself out of the bottom five, about half a second clear of that danger zone. Alonso is next, and he's on the cusp, though, after a Q3 appearance in Bahrain. He's on the cusp of being knocked out here. Sebastian Vettel could be one of those who relegate Fernando Alonso closer to the drop zone. We're here on the Aston Martin, and as we cross the line, Vettel goes ninth fastest. George Russell is out on the track and improving. No, he stays in that bottom five. Kimi Räikkönen, so here he is, George Russell. Kimi Räikkönen very much at risk. Russell's got a personal best in the first sector and does push Kimi Räikkönen down into the bottom five.
But the first time Russell's been out-qualified by a teammate at Williams. Well, so far anyway, but they're both through then to Q2. Good effort from Nicholas Latifi. Very good effort.
Gasly stops himself being at risk by putting his car, his AlphaTauri, into P6. Carlos Sainz very much on the cusp, but Carlos Sainz is on a flying lap. We can pick up Esteban Ocon, who at the moment has the slowest time, now has the 8th fastest time. So Sainz gets pushed into the drop zone. Fernando Alonso is beaten in qualifying by a teammate for the first time since Malaysia 2017, as Leclerc goes 3rd fastest for Ferrari, and now Daniel Ricciardo goes 8th fastest.
And Russell on a tidy lap as well. Very tidy lap is George Russell.
Very good first sector from George Russell. Carlos Sainz is out, though, in the Ferrari. Can't make it into the top 10. Russell is only a 10th off that top 10, but sadly for him, 12th will not see any further participation in qualifying this afternoon. He keeps up his Saturday record at Williams of beating his teammate at every single Grand Prix so far. And Carlos Sainz for Ferrari out, whilst his teammate 3rd fastest. Big surprise.
And Lando then crosses the line with a 1:14.8. Not quite his quickest time today.
Yeah, but that's a decent time from Lando Norris. Looking at the other sector times around him, saying that, Hamilton's just gone a 10th quicker through the first sector, but Norris was a 10th up on Sergio Perez on his flying lap at the moment, and he was a 10th up on Verstappen through the first sector as well. Perez has now set the best middle sector as we ride on board with Pierre Gasly. Lance Stroll's had his time deleted for exceeding track limits at the chicane, at the Variante Alta chicane. Gasly with a 1:15.3 in the AlphaTauri for the man who started 4th on the grid here last year. Perez now to cross the line, and he goes quickest by a couple of tenths from Lando Norris in the McLaren. Lewis Hamilton, fastest overall first sector, a personal best middle sector. Hamilton to cross the line in a moment after Valtteri Bottas, who only goes 3rd fastest, and Hamilton goes quickest overall, a 1:14.4, couple of tenths up on Sergio Perez. Here's Max Verstappen next, though, best overall in the middle sector. Verstappen a 10th behind Hamilton.
Leclerc pops the Ferrari into 5th place. Minimum speed through there is 110 miles an hour, 175 kilometers per hour. And Bottas then with a 24.0 again, which actually only matches his 24.0 last time around. Valtteri Bottas under pressure in the Mercedes. There's turn 9, he stayed within the bounds of the racetrack, cascading downhill into Aqua Minerale. Now it's uphill as the car complains over the curb. Bring it left, ready for Variante Alta. Smash the curb on the inside, keep forward motion, and yeah, he's all right on that one, isn't he, on the curb?
So Hamilton is only 8/100ths off his best time so far. Norris has just blitzed the first sector once again with a 23.5. That's half a second quicker than Valtteri Bottas managed through that first sector. Bottas not improving at the moment, you'd think, to challenge pole position. Hamilton is within touching distance. Max Verstappen we're still waiting to see go through the first sector as Hamilton crosses the line and blitzes the final sector. It's a 1:14.411 from before though that keeps him on pole.
Watch Norris though. Norris, purple first sector, purple middle sector. Is he going to stick this on the front row? Is he going to stick it on pole?
Car number 4, best qualifying ever, 4th, twice in his career before. Lando Norris is having a brilliant lap and goes onto the front row by only 4/100ths of a second behind Hamilton. It's Norris on the front row for McLaren. The bad news is though, he might have exceeded track limits.
Yes, he has, and both Red Bulls are out there doing good lap times too.
So all Lando Norris's good work is going to be undone by a track limit violation. He's going to get that time deleted. What can Sergio Perez do? Leclerc now goes 4th fastest. Perez has never started on the front row before. He's on the front row now though. That's a much better qualifying from the Mexican in the Red Bull as Verstappen crosses the line and Perez out-qualifies Verstappen. Hamilton is on pole. Perez for the first time in his career starts on the front row. Verstappen settles for P3. Leclerc and Ferrari do make it onto the second row, and at the 30th different track in his career, Lewis Hamilton will start a Grand Prix in the top spot. So this is Max Verstappen.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, there's enough grip because the grass is dry out there, but it's suboptimal, I believe they say. Yeah, so he had a bit of an oversteer in the middle. Yep. Again, had to counter steer, walk the car wide.
And this is Piratella, and this is Lando Norris. Oh.
Difficult to see from the car angle, isn't it?
And for the first time in a while, Red Bull have 2 cars to chase a Mercedes, as opposed to Mercedes have 2 cars to chase a Red Bull.
Good point.
Oh, change around after that qualifying session.